I used to have such bad social anxiety that it wouldn't matter who I was talking to. I would start turning red. My heart would start racing. I wouldn't know what words to say. I would literally be having a full on anxiety attack in front of a random stranger. And I would just be creating these very awkward situations for myself over and over again. Hello, my name is Gressa. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about social anxiety, which is something that I have dealt with for a very long time. I was definitely the person in high school who always ate lunch by herself. I didn't have any friends because I pushed away good, genuine people who I probably could have been friends with to this day. And I just missed out on a lot of opportunities for myself. So, first thing is first, you want to find the root of the problem. Social anxiety is basically your nervous system reacting to previous trauma. It is something that you don't directly control, it's more so your body remembering a situation that was negative and it responding in survival mode, so fight, flight, or freeze. It doesn't just magically disappear. It will live in your subconscious and it will come back up later in life. For me, I wasn't really treated that well as a child. I had problems with my family. I was basically, made to feel stupid and not valued. I was called pretty much every bad word, every name in the book from a very, very young age. And at school, I was bullied a lot by other kids. So my coping mechanism was to self-isolate because that's the only place I ever felt safe was when I was completely by myself. So I was very insecure. I became very depressed because I was isolating myself. So social anxiety also created other issues for me too, besides just being anxious. So this may or may not apply to you, depending on what you went through. Maybe you went through something far worse than I did. Maybe you think you didn't go through anything and you had a great childhood. But I assure you that social anxiety is stemming from something that you experienced. The next thing that you're going to try to start doing is exposing yourself to what makes you uncomfortable. And how you're going to start doing this, it could be very small. If it makes you uncomfortable to see somebody on the other side of the road and just to wave at them, then start there. Going to the store and asking people for help makes you uncomfortable, then that's where you're going to start. I eventually became a bartender at a very high-end resort. And if you had told my younger self that my job was to be charismatic and likable and give guests amazing experiences, then I probably would not have believed you. I'm not saying that you should strive to be a bartender or that it's my dream job or that it's something that I'm going to do for the rest of my life, because that's not true. But what I am saying is that it is such a stark contrast to who I used to be. That girl who was insecure and shy and awkward. It's just a testimony of how much I have truly grown because I was willing to be uncomfortable. Now I can literally walk up to anybody and feel confident enough to start a conversation, to get my point across. And, even if I do turn red for whatever reason, I know I'm going to be fine. So there is a term in psychology, and it is called exposure therapy. Basically what that is when you are actively in therapy, your therapist helps guide you through these uncomfortable situations so that you're not doing it alone. Did I do this specifically? No, I didn't. I literally just exposed myself all on my own and had to process everything all on my own, which I am a very introspective person, so I was able to do, but it probably did take me a lot longer than if I had decided to go to therapy. So if you do suffer from social anxiety, then here's an exercise that I want you to try. In the Conjuring movies, specifically The Conjuring 2, there's a scene where Lorraine Warren names the demon. I think the demon's name was like Valak or something. It's the demon behind the face of the nun. And she names the demon, and what happens when she names the demon is it loses all power, like all of it. And how I want you to think of this is social anxiety is like a demon. So when you are in that moment of your face turning red, your heart starts beating really fast and you don't know what to say, I want you to name the demon. I want you to name it. Like, this is social anxiety. This is what's happening to me right now in this moment. It's just a demon. It's not who I am. It's not my identity. It is just something that happens to me, and the moment is going to pass. And what you're doing in this situation is you are stripping away all of the power that it has over you. And the more moments that you place yourself that are just like this, where you get uncomfortable and you just keep in your mind, okay, this is what I'm going through right now. Okay, and it's not even a big deal. And if the other person says something like, oh, you're turning red, are you okay? You just say, yeah, that happens sometimes. And you know what they're going to do? They're just going to be like, oh, okay. It is not that big of a deal. When the other person goes home at night, they're not going to be thinking,
oh, that girl was so awkward. She got so red. Wah, wah, wah.
No, they're not going to be thinking of that. They're going to be thinking of their own problems, because everybody has their own problems. They're not going to be thinking of you. It's not that deep that you're making it out to be. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope that you got something out of it. And I would love to hear your personal experiences with this in the comment section. And until next time, I will see you later. Bye.